Previously, on the Hoard of the Dragon Queen. The north of Faerun finds itself embroiled in chaos, as the long benign cult of the dragon has recently made a resurgence and is actively pillaging nearby lands at the behest of 7 Sajarin, who is attempting to gather 5 dragon masks to release Tiamat from her prison in the 9 Hells. Meanwhile, 4 novice adventurers journey to the town of Greenest as caravan guards for the belligerent Nub McGrub. During said journey, they came to know Nub's bodyguard, Sebastian Crenshaw, and the reserved Marlowe Duskwood, who did their best to make the group feel welcome, despite Nub's foul temperament and overt self-interest. When the party reached their destination, they were greeted by the sight of a blue dragon that circled ominously over the town. Sensing the plight below, the party ventured further in, and soon arrived at Greenest Keep, where they became acquainted with Governor Naito and Castilian. From here, the party proceeded to work through the night, and saved many townspeople, whilst also driving back the nefarious raiders, which eventually culminated in a stand at the keep, and an ultimatum posed by the battle-hungry Langdrosis Cyanrath. Zark answered the Draconid's challenge for single combat, and fought a pitched battle, with the former eventually prevailing, thanks to the awakening of a mysterious new power. The raiders retreated after the battle, and the party were rewarded for their efforts. Our heroes then enjoyed a few days of downtime, where they stocked up on supplies, outed a dishonest blacksmith, and worked on personal projects to be more potent in combat. However, Delman was visited by an unwelcome presence in his dreams, and inadvertently started to freeze his surroundings, causing Nightkill to go uneasy. Fortunately, Sasha stepped in to defuse the situation, but was mandated to leave the keep due to her alleged experiments, but not before ensuring that her last patient was treated. As the party returned from more shopping, the man awoke and called out for a Leosin. And now we return as the Tyranny of Dragons continues. Okay, here we are, everyone, again. So, welcome back to Hoard of the Dragon Queen. We had a couple of weeks break, we had a one-shot last week, we might actually be having another one after the session today. Who knows, it depends on how our list goes. The intro was legit, thank you BK for validating me, I needed that. Just to let you guys know who don't come into stream too often, I don't really talk to the audience so much after this initial introduction part.
What is wrong with you, bird people?
Yes, indeed, what is wrong with me, bird people? Someone has to get that in there every single time. Anyway, so just to jump into things straight away, you guys just came back from quite a long shopping session in Greenest, and you've basically been called in by Sasha, and the man that she was treating has finally awoken from his state. He was calling out for a Leosin, but as you recall, Blaine, at the end of the session, he recognized you. So let's just get straight back into that scene. So, yeah, how do you react, Blaine?
Wait, why are you here? What are you doing here?
What are you talking about? I reached out to Onfar. I assume he sent you, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes. After me and after Leosin. The cults have been tracking us for quite some time. Oh God, how long has it been?
I don't...
What day is it? What day is it?
What day is it?
You were here a few days now.
It's about... you've been here for about 3 days, so... Yeah. So I'd say that you just say what day it is, and as you tell him that it's been about 3 days since he was knocked out, he goes white and just goes, "Oh no. God knows where Leosin is by now. The last thing I remember is I was fighting some of them. Then I was knocked out. I just couldn't hold them off any longer, and they dragged him away. Please, the great
over by my bed. It has a couple of his personal effects in it. His staff and his choker. I think I know why Onfar sent you, Blaine. Maybe you could help track him.
Yes,
Maybe anticipated that one of us would get, or both of us have, God forbid, get captured.
I can help in any way, yes.
Sasha will kind of reach over to him and kind of like, he's kind of bolted up, right? And she kind of places his hands on his shoulder and sets him back in bed and just says, "You need to rest. You're no good to Leosin or anyone else if you hurt yourself again. Considering the state you were in when you came in here, it's very fortunate that you're talking, much less shouting the building down. These are very capable people, Nessim, don't worry. If anyone can find Leosin and put things right, I'm sure that they will be able to."
You're in good hands here. She knows what she's doing, and we can help Blaine.
Just take a lot of rest. We
No-
can handle this.
As you guys and Sasha talk to him, Nessim takes a few deep breaths and just says, "Before I got knocked out, they were talking about a camp. About gathering up all of the wealth in this town and taking it there. I'm sorry, but I don't know where this camp is, but if I heard the conversation correctly, they were only going to be there for about 2 days."
Didn't we find a map in the mall?
Yes, you did.
Might that be the camp? Sorry, I'm not asking the DM, I'm asking.
Oh, sorry, ask it. If you're off, do you offer the map to him? As you say that?
I don't have it. I believe.
I think Arthur has it.
Arthur
Arthur
has
had
it,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
I'd say that out my pack at that point to project it.
Okay, so Nessim takes a quick look over the map and he just goes, yes, this sounds as they described. The high walls, like the curve, like it was in a sort of basin. Yes, I think this might be it. Oh.
I guess that's our call to get going. Sasha, if you have a minute.
Yes, of course. I actually wanted to discuss something with you. I'm sorry, would you mind if we all have a word in private for a few minutes? Kind of like talking to the rest of the group, Sasha.
With that, I'll
Guys.
just make my way out.
I follow Arthur.
Yeah, I do too.
Elman, please.
I think he's having technical issues.
Yeah, I'll just have to soften it. Apparently you can't hear anyone aside from... You can't hear Sky and you can't hear Doom, but you can hear me and Pema, Alf, is that correct?
Yeah. Don't know what's going on.
Are you... Did you put yourself into browser on Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
but
no.
You or just yeah.
Tell him to try just going in through regular Discord.
Yeah, maybe try regular Discord. Doom suggesting just so you can at least hear us.
en
I am
ik
Delman now.
Ik heb het in Windows 10. I'm Zark.
You hear us now, Elf?
Alright, I can hear you guys now, but I can't see you.
No.
But
You don't need to see us.
You can tune into the
Can't see
stream.
me anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, apologies for breaking flow there, just had to sort that out. So, basically, Delman or Sasha was asking if you would leave the room just so her and Gwen could have a quick chat.
Okay.
Okay, obviously Nassim is going to stay. Actually, no. I'd say that Sasha takes you into a
We're
side room.
moving to the other side.
Yeah. Okay, so Sasha just kind of closes the door as you enter, puts her hands behind her back, and just says, "Okay, I suppose you go first, Gwen. What can I do for you?"
It's not much, but there's a little something I wanted to give you.
Oh,
Handing her the page I showed you.
okay.
I gave you a picture.
So, in fact, I do think that's the wrong thing. I actually have it here on the stream for you. So, anyone wanting to see sort of like the gift that Gwen's given to Sasha, it's just up on the screen now. So it's so Sasha gives this a look over and she just goes, kind of raises an eyebrow and just thinks, "How did you know that I would find this useful? This is very helpful."
It wasn't in your collection yet.
Oh,
And this is kind of what I do.
oh,
I
tis.
thought it might be nice.
Shame on you looking through my things to see something that I didn't have, but oh, I so appreciate the gift. She gives you a hug, sort of.
Hugging her back.
Yeah, sort of. She really likes it. Okay, so she places it down on the table and she then says, "Since we're exchanging gifts, I actually have a present for you also." I'll just switch it. Whoops, daisy, that is the wrong scene. Back to this scene. There we go. So Sasha goes to a nearby crate and she pulls out a staff. And she hands it over to you, Gwen.
I'm honored.
So, sort of just to let you know, this is a staff of flowers. Which you should be able to add to your character sheet.
We'll try that in a second.
So she hands that over to you and just goes, "I thought that you would probably have... it's something I used to use quite a lot when I was younger, but I thought you would probably appreciate it a lot more."
Thank you for your trust. I'm very honored.
I actually have, I suppose it's partially a favour, but something I think would probably benefit you as well. You remember the potion
Oh?
that I made? The one that I'm not
Yes?
too happy with? Yes. I created that potion as a part of my world trek. I'm not sure if it's a tradition that is practiced so much in the Order of the Ash, but the Beal kind of push us towards it at a young age, basically wanting us to travel the world to gain a little bit more experience with quite a specific end goal in mind. I was supposed to just go around, open a few businesses in some of the local provinces and kind of just bring herbs and knowledge of medicine to my peers, but I had things changed along the way and I had different ideas. But that's probably a story for another time. The reason I'm telling you this is I assume that you have a reason to be out here on the road. You're not just saving towns for the fun of it, I assume.
No, that's just a nice side benefit. And it does help to pave the way and pay the way.
Yep.
I'm actually out here gathering knowledge about herbs and plants.
I thought that might be
In
the
quite a
case.
similar way.
Yes, I suppose our goals are similarly aligned in a way. Well, I'd like you to also have one of these. So at this point, Sasha turns around and she grabs 3 necklaces. So they're of slightly different design. I will just have a quick look at the items. Just to get them up here. Okay, there we go. So one of them is a... let me just see... So it's one is a wooden necklace. So it's 3 wooden necklaces. One has one's the shape of a fox head. One is the shape of a swan's head. And one is in the shape of a panther's head. And she says, I'd like you to have one of these. It's a similar choice that I was given when I started my world trek, representing 3 different aspects of nature. The fox's head represents cunning, the swan represents grace, and the panther represents retribution. So she just holds these out to you, expectantly waiting for an answer.
I'm timidly moving my hand towards them, moving towards the panther, but then pulling back and reaching for the fox.
Hi, I saw your hesitation there, but I have to be honest, I chose the panther when it was my time. So,
A few weeks, a few months ago, I might have too. But
okay.
I'm not sure that's the path for me anymore.
You're wiser than I was at your age. Anyway, I'll hand it over to you, and you notice as you take the necklace off it that it has force, like on the sides of the necklace, it's got like a few slots. One of the 4 slots is filled by a sort of like a colorless crystal. And just to let you know, this is a magic item that you can add as well, Gwen. So if you look on D&D Beyond, you should find something called World Trek Necklace - Nature's Cunning. So just...
I'll write that down again.
Do you want me to give you the description again, sorry?
If you can just text.
Yeah, if you give me a second, I'll just screenshot the information over to you. Just so
Thank
you're aware of what this does. In fact, I'll have to... In fact, I'll just put the description in the chat because I can't really go on the Discord screen at the moment. Okay, there you go. So it has a little benefit for you there. Okay, so Sasha takes the other 2 necklaces away and she hands over the other one to you and she says, I'm not exactly sure how this works, but when you've made sufficient progress in your journey, you'll be guided towards somebody who can help you continue. I believe it works by the crystal spending a lot of time with its where it kind of the user subconsciously. Yes, I suppose the user subconsciously impresses their intent onto the crystal, and it kind of gains. It's odd, really. I studied it for a while, but I never completely understood how it works. But I suppose the important thing to note is that when you've made some progress in your journey, you'll be guided towards someone who can help take you further. I suppose it's a good thing that we met.
I'm very grateful for that too. I hope we'll meet again.
I hope so too. Is there anything else you would like to ask me before I leave? Unfortunately, after treating Nessim, the governor said that I needed to start packing away my things.
Do you know where you're going?
I'm not sure yet. My shop was destroyed during the attack on the town, and as much as it pains me to say this, I might see if I can tag along with Castilian and Sebastian.
Well, that's gonna be some entertainment at least on the road.
Yes, I suppose it will, but oh well, needs must, as they say.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it was absolutely lovely to have met you, Gwen. I wish I could have stayed a little bit longer, but I suppose it's nature's way of telling me that it's time to move on.
Blessing of the road to you.
And to you, Gwen. Okay. And with that, Sasha leaves the room.
Yeah, and I'll go outside and look for the others. Also putting on the necklace right now.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'd say that you guys are probably just outside of the makeshift infirmary at the moment.
Yes.
Okay, so Gwen walks outside after a few moments. Are you guys talking amongst yourselves while Gwen's in there, or are you just waiting for her to come outside?
I'm fussing Max.
Fair enough.
I've been saying nothing, scribbling away on a scroll.
That's fair enough. Okay, so how about you, Arthur? You doing anything?
I probably would have just been stood arms folded waiting.
I'm waiting and just watch Max and Zark.
Okay. You guys react when Gwen heads out?
I'll give a nod and stand up back off the wall where Odin stood against. Anything important?
Shop talk.
Fair enough. I'd like to look to Blaine, and I'm going to take the map out and hand it to him. So, you think you might be able to track them down?
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, hand it off to you. In that case, lead the way. We think it'd be worth taking horses or go by foot.
I'm a bit better at foot.
What does the terrain look like? Lots of wide open spaces. What's the travel distance to the place?
Travel distance to the place. I'm going to say it is probably a day's ride from here. In fact, let me just get up the map for you, just so I can kind of give you a frame of reference. Boop, boop. Yeah, the world map's just here. There we go. Okay, so Greenest is currently circled on the map towards the bottom here. It's probably sort of like down in this area. Don't know if... So, probably going to say maybe a day's ride.
I think the governor might be willing to lend us horses to get us part of the way there. When we get closer, we'll go to on foot. So you can track better.
We did bring back a few horses for him.
I'll be fine with it.
Okay.
I'm looking to.
So are you guys looking for the governor to ask his permission?
Yes.
Okay. I'd say that after a couple of minutes of asking around the guards, Nihil comes out of his house and just goes, "Ah, yes, what is it? I heard Sasha shouting that our guest had finally woken up. Did he have much to say?"
He was pointing us. He was pointing us in the same direction as the map we found before.
Yes, I do suppose that is to be expected, considering what we'd already learned. I suppose him and Leosin learned a lot more than we had prior to the attack. It's a shame that they didn't have the opportunity to warn us. Listen, I have a favor to ask you whilst you're going on to your journey.
What is it?
I want you to learn exactly what is behind us. I know they robbed us, and they took our wealth, but the people deserve to know why, exactly. Why a whole town? They could have ransacked just part of it, but the way they went about it, this was no simple Wait, they seem to want to incite terror. I want retribution for it. If you can go to the camp and learn their intentions in great detail, I would be willing to give you further payments. I assume. I propose another 200 gold ahead.
I don't see why not if we're going there anyway.
So I like hitting cultists. So like hefting my axe over my shoulder. You smile.
See what we can do. Now,
Yes. You wanted me for some reason, didn't you?
would you be willing to give us some of the horses that we brought back?
You did
If we went
recover.
back faster?
A couple of them were lent to the Jamesons, but there still should be a couple towards, he kind of gestures towards the two horses are on the map over here to these, oops, Daisy, to these two. And just says, I suppose you're free to take those. I don't really think there's going to be much traffic in and out of the keep for the next few days. To be honest with you, most of my time has been spent filling in paperwork to have contractors arrange to, I don't know, fix some of the damages. Not only much fire damage, but the raiders did a number on the east side of town.
Do you have a trailer that we could take? Two might not be enough.
Yes, there should be one around the back of the keep. In fact, I almost forgot to give you something. Must have slipped my mind. Trying to repress that particular memory, actually. One of my subordinates, one of my other subordinates caused quite a bit of trouble recently, and well, I sent him out on a quest to try and figure out what was going on with the maps that you found. They haven't come back yet, but I should be expecting them in the next couple of days. You might want to take this with you. And he extends out a bag to Arthur.
I'll take it and then look inside it.
I wouldn't get too excited about that. Nighthill kind of reaches his hand over and tries to push it down into it. As you can see, you can't really put anything in this bag. It doesn't really seem too practical, but there is a reason. It's a one-way bag of holding. I've got the sister bag in my quarters over there. If I'm able, I'll occasionally put some trinkets into it. I think it's the least I can do to thank you once again for being the champions of this town, even if you didn't particularly want to be, I'm assuming. But
Thank
Needs must.
I appreciate any support.
if anything comes up, well, you'll usually feel the bag get a little bit heavier. It's quite conspicuous, actually. I suppose you just turn it over, turn it over and dump out the contents. Unfortunately, once you do, if you can't carry the stuff, then that might be your issue, so probably check it every once in a while when you have the means to actually, well, to transport whatever might be in there. I suppose most of the time it's just going to be small trinkets and gold, but you never know.
We will do. Thank you for that. I'd like to extend a hand to shake.
Anyway, the wagon, it should probably just be around the back. He kind of points to this side of the keep over here.
Right. And he left me hanging. And with that, I'll start moving then.
Okay.
Giving a nod to Governor Nighthill and turning to Father Arthur.
Governor Nighthill heads back towards his keep. Or back towards his quarters, I should say.
Right, I'd like to get some feed from the horses. I'm going to assume there's going to be some. around here.
There is some feed over here where the horses are being kept.
Yeah, I'll take that. Take the horses, hitch them up, and then have everyone pile on. We need anything before we go?
I'm good to go. We have
Nope,
some
I'm
food.
good to go.
Zoc ready?
I think I'm good.
Here then. Hand the reins over to Blaine. Let you guide.
Alright, let's go.
I'm climbing in. I ain't walking.
Robert's going to be running alongside him.
I forgot you called it that.
Yeah, because why not?
Mm-hmm. Exactly my reasoning. And then I assume we leave then.
Uh-huh. So you guys, leave Gwyneth. So do you just sort of ride without rest?
You said it'd be about a
It's
day's
about
travel.
about a day's travel, yeah.
I'd probably say we would stop at one point for give the horses about an hour's rest, then continue again for the last bit.
Okay. You guys are able to.
Also, seeing how late is it getting? We're not starting early in the morning.
No, you were starting. I would have said about midday or close to it.
So since we're traveling with the horses, maybe travel until it starts getting dark.
Mhm.
Or is the path that clear? We can travel at night. And figure that out.
It's quite open towards where you're heading, so you could continue to ride if you want to. But the only thing I would bear in mind is sort of allowing the horses to have a rest at some point. Because if you don't, you probably won't. It'll probably take you slightly longer to get to your destination because they'll be traveling at a slower rate.
Well, that anyway. We're taking a rest towards evening
Okay.
and seeing if we can travel on.
So how long would you say that you travel for then, given that it's midday now? About 8 hours or so?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Well, like 6 maybe. About 6 and then take a short break. See how the horses are doing.
Okay, just give me a second to... Daisy.
During this, can I spend this time copying the scrolls I bought into my ritual book?
I'd probably say that... Like, how long does it say that should take you?
2 hours per scroll spell level, I think.
So, if you were taking a 2... So when you say short rest, would you be resting for 2 hours, or would you be resting for maybe about half an hour and then continuing? Just to clarify.
If Delamain's in the back of the cart, shouldn't he be able to do that while we're traveling?
Yeah,
Half
sure.
an hour to an hour.
Yeah, considering that he isn't actually having to exert any effort in that time. So, if you're traveling for 6 hours, how many scrolls do you need to do?
I have 3 exactly, actually.
So, yeah, you'd be able to do all 3 of them because you're not actually having to do anything whilst you're traveling.
Cool. We'll
It's
go
not
ahead
like
and
you-
add those spells in there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so you guys travel for about 6 hours and then do you rest at that point?
We have about an hour's long rest then for the horses.
Have about an hour's long rest. Yeah, okay, I'd say that's fine. So, after that, how long do you continue traveling for?
As long as we have the light.
As long as you have the light. Okay, so if you travel for 6 hours, that would be 6. I would say it goes dark at about 10. So you'd probably travel for another 3 hours before it goes dark.
Yeah, about that.
Yep.
Okay, so as it goes to night, your surroundings become a little bit more wooded. It's quite a close evening. Pretty gentle wind. You can hear sort of some crickets, a couple of rabbits running about, sort of in the bushes towards the side. So, do you guys want to make camp, or do you want to push on through the night?
How much distance is left to cover?
How much distance left to cover? So you've travelled for about 9 so far. I would probably say that you have. I'm going to say maybe about another 6 hours.
We stay and make camp.
No use breaking the horse's legs in the dark.
You know, the light that matter.
Okay.
I've just been buried in my book this whole time, and I noticed the cart stopped. Why? Oh, it's dark. We nearly there?
We're staying here for the night.
Still a ways to go, but nothing we can reach tonight.
Oh. Well, I'm feeling well rested. I will. I could take the first watch.
What is the area like that we've stopped in specifically for that to use as our camp?
To use as our camp, as I say, it's a wooded area. You're surrounded by bushes and trees.
Right.
Did you want
Nice.
anything more
Yes.
specific about that?
I'm going to take the fishing twine I have and the bells, and at about, I'd say about 15 centimeters above the ankle level, I'm going to set up them around where we're setting our camp. Say to the north, east, and south directions. Effectively, they're tripwires made from fish twine,
Okay.
and if something touches them, the little bells will go off.
So, oh yeah, because you got a couple of little bells, didn't you, earlier?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so you placed those around the camp. Okay, what are you guys doing in the meantime?
Is
Seeing
there
the
any
horse.
dead logs or fallen trees around?
Make a investigation check for me. Uh, 11. No. Oh. And that came through again. Not that you can immediately see. It's a little bit dark around you, so you can't really see that far into into the trees. It's kind of so there's a few of them dotted about, but you can't really see if any of them have fallen. You probably have to go further into the forest to get a better look.
I do have dark vision if it helps.
You do have dark vision. I would still say that you don't see anything.
So I'll look for firewood. Just like tilting my head at Arthur.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I'll go look around for firewood while trying to find a dead log I can bring back.
Try not to trip.
Okay.
So I was trying to add my spells and it was going weird. Doom, what did you say you did about the trap? Making some sort of barricade?
I use the fish twine, so I'm basically connecting from one tree stump to another at midway between ankle and knee, with little bells attached to the ends, so if someone pulls on them, it'll set the bell off.
Okay. Bug, I would like to, wherever the horses are pitched up, I mean they're like tied up together somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Can I cast around them in a 20-foot cube the alarm spell?
Could you just put the description of alarm into chat? You haven't already? Okay. Let me just choose a door, window, or an area within range that is no larger than 24 cube. Whenever a tiny or large creature touches or enters the watered area, you can cast a spell. You can designate creatures that will set off the alarm. So a mental alarm alerts you with a ping in your mind if you're within 1 mile of the watered area. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll designate the rest of these guys and the horses in case they like leave it, whatever. And I'll set it to mental so it pings me
Okay.
if anything approaches the horses.
Alright, and what's anyone else doing?
Can I also set an alarm, like on the other side of where Doom has his trap?
What would you be using
It's on
to...
the north, east, and west.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had it too.
North, east, and south. Sorry.
Do you have the same spell though? Like-
Yes.
In that case, you do just that.
Right.
Won't sneak it up on us.
Yeah, I'd say making this difficult.
We'll be back in a second. I'm just going to turn the lights on.
Okay.
Do I do anything now, or?
No, you just designate an area with your finger. Obviously, when you cast a spell, make sure that you mark off a spell slot.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Got
Yeah.
it.
Unless it's a ritual like mine.
Which takes you 10 minutes, but it does work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see if this new spell works.
because I'm pretty sure that is the first spell that Blaine has ever cast.
Yes.
Hey.
So,
Achievement get.
yeah, I would say. Okay, Gwen, are you doing anything?
Seeing to the horses first
Yeah!
of all, and taking out my notebook and making some notes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so...
And in between that, I'll also like to take out the staff of flowers
Mhm.
and go off a little to the side, being careful to step over the wire, not into it.
Gwen sets off all of the alarms in the camp.
No, and trying it once,
Okay.
not texting anything.
Do you need the description for Staff of Flowers, by the way?
I'll have it added.
You have it
I
added,
can send
okay.
it.
I'll put my book away then.
Yep, so you can use an action to expend one charge and cause a flower to sprout on a patch of earth, or is within 5 feet of you, or from the staff itself. Unless you choose a specific kind of flower, the staff creates a mild scented daisy. The flower is harmless and non-magical, and it grows or withers as a normal flower would. Okay, so are you going to grow as a flower on the staff or ground then, Gwen?
On the ground, like pointing at the ground and aiming at the ground.
Do you
Just seeing what it does. No, I'm not specifying. I'm still trying it out.
Okay, so you point
I
this...
wasn't told exactly what it does, so I'm
Yeah,
trying it
I think Sasha wanted to leave that as a surprise for you. So you point it at the ground and you will for something to happen. After a few moments, you see some green energy kind of blanket the small area that you specified, and a few moments later, a mildly scented daisy just pops up out of the ground.
Whoop.
And
I'll be happy with that. Look at it, study it a little, and then go back to camp and make a note of it.
Did you do that within sight of us?
I went outside the lines of the camp, but not too far. So you would have seen me move. Depends if you were paying attention to me.
I'm still looking for wood.
Delamain would have definitely asked about this magical item you have now. I guess if I didn't see it.
Wasn't exactly parading it in front of you.
okay, so do you guys do anything else before you settle down to sleep?
I would eat as well.
Yes,
I'm eating
of
too.
course.
Using the mini rations I bought.
Sure, why not?
Actually, use our rations.
I was just going
What?
to...
Oh my god, we're tracking rations.
So, yeah, strike off the rations when you have that. Do you have water as well?
Indeed, yes.
Do I find enough firewood and a large size log I can attack?
I'm getting the feeling this just removed all my rations.
Oh,
Did you
no.
wanna-
Oh yeah, if you pick remove, it does them all.
Sorry, Zach, what was your question?
Do I find a load of firewood and a log big enough for me to attack?
Okay, I'm gonna say that because you kind of went out into the forest, roll survival. See what you find. You can forage up. So what were you looking for again? You were saying that you're looking for firewood and something to hit somebody with.
Big enough?
I would say that you.
Well, use it.
I'm gonna say that you find the firewood on there,
Okay then.
but not a log big enough to hit. You kind of like see sort of like the odd sort of broken piece of wood on the ground, but nothing too substantial.
Then I'll come back to camp with the firewood and trying to avoid the traps.
Hmm. In fact, Arthur, did you put the traps down before Zark left or after?
But I've immediately started setting up as soon as we decided the place.
Yeah, so Zark would know what the traps are.
Mhm.
It's basically what I'm trying to establish here. Just so he doesn't inadvertently step into them. Okay.
I am carrying firewood, if it counts.
Well, he doesn't know about the wards, but he knew us were setting up something.
He knew about the perimeter, so yeah, I'm not going to sort of mention it. So yeah, you come back to camp, Zach, with the firewood in tow.
So I'll get wood. I say putting it near where I think we're going to set up the fire.
Okay.
And then I'll proceed to set up the campfire.
I'll
Okay.
take second watch.
And who's taking first watch?
Element
I will.
Element,
Did
right?
Delman already say first watch? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for first. I can take third.
So do you guys do anything else before settling down to sleep?
Nope.
Nah.
All done for the night.
Okay, cool. Right, so Delman was taking first watch, correct?
Yep.
Okay, roll perception for me, please. Okay, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary during your watch. You can kind of hear like the rustles of bushes, and you think it might be something, but nothing seems to come. So, other than that, your watch passes uneventfully.
Awesome.
Do you hand over?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I actually have to push to talk now.
Okay.
Have you ever slept in a forest before?
So
Whoever's
Maybe in
taking
forest.
second watch.
Second.
Arcturus.
Yeah, and worse many time.
It's not terrible. I prefer up in the trees, but it's not practical, I suppose. Have a good one.
Yeah, I imagine I'd probably just fall out of that, frankly. With that, I settle down in a tree just a little bit away from the little fire, throw some wood in it, and sit out my watch.
Okay. So, same thing, roll perception, please, Arthur. An 8. Okay, much in the same way as Delman, you don't really see or hear anything. You could swear that you see the shadow of something out of the corner of your peripheral vision at some point, but once again, yeah, this seems to be quite a quiet forest. It's nice when kobolds aren't trying to steal stuff from you. So, yeah, nothing happens to you either.
So if my watch comes to an end, I'll go and hand over to
Me.
forgotten who. So I will go and put Gwen.
Yeah,
Where was she going?
right person.
I knew that. Come on, your turn.
Anything happen?
There's some rabbits out there, but that's about it.
That sounds suspiciously quiet. Let's hope it stays that way.
No, I'll bed down.
Okay. So, so Daisy, let me have a look. Yeah, 24 perception, nice. Okay, so
You see all the things.
Gwen is completely in tune with nature and everything else, apparently.
Makes sense.
You,
He's a druid.
I know. She looks around and yeah, everything is very peaceful. Just before the end of your watch, however, you do see a small creature running towards one of the warded areas.
Can I tell what kind of creature?
On a 24, I would say that you know this is a ferret.
The back.
Almost. You're the one having an issue with ferrets, Tom, not me. Sorry, that was out of character.
It's okay. So it's just running towards the warded horses.
I'll move towards them and not be really quiet about it, like not stomping so much my comrades wake up, but being loud enough so it will notice me moving.
So you're trying to get the ferret's attention.
Basically.
Okay. So I would.
Seeing if it doesn't decide to move elsewhere when there's someone around.
Okay, so you kind of approach the ferret from, I'd say it's from the front, so it sees you, and as it does see you, it kind of just hunches, it kind of just bolts upright, and it just kind of stares at you, unmovingly.
Having my staff at the side, twirling it around, like twisting around my hand. Look back and forth a little bit, moving towards it, looking at it.
Okay.
Just looking.
So you're just looking at it. Are you trying to, like, shoo it away, or are you just trying to engage with it?
See how it reacts.
Okay.
I'm curious, mostly.
Roll animal handling, I'd say. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So, as you twirl the stuff around, the ferret completely misinterprets your gesture as one of attack, and it immediately runs towards the warded horses and then the other wards that Delman put up. So, Delman and Blaine, you hear the alarm ping in your head, and you just both bolt awake. A few moments later, Arthur, you hear several of your bells jingling as the ferret is running in circles around the camp.
Right, I have my base in hand.
I'm under attack!
Wait, what is happening?
Not just a ferret.
And yeah,
Huh?
as it trips the last alarm, the ferret just runs back off into the darkness of the night.
You woke us for a ferret?
Oh, I didn't wake you.
At least the spell works. It's a small victory.
Looks like it.
I'll go around and check the wires, make sure they're taut again after all that.
Yeah.
Then I go straight back to sleep.
Yeah, I'd say that only takes you a few minutes, so you managed to do so.
And with that, I'm just out like a light, mace in hand.
Just, it's clenched in your sleep. That is some battle instinct right there. Okay, so well, I'll just say that the rest of your shift passes uneventfully too.
In that case, I'll see about waking them, though not Arthur. I'll let someone else wake Arthur. I'll start with Blaine and Zark.
Zog sleep good. Totally undisturbed by the shenanigans in the night.
It was a quiet night. Not too much moving in the forest. Maybe a bit too quiet, actually. Blaine, you know the woods. Seeing just one ferret? That's a bit little. I would have expected a little more wildlife. I'm not used to this house, are you? Not familiar with this area?
No, I've not been in this part of the forest before. Who knows? Maybe
Oh,
the
haven't
ferrets
you,
here are less.
Blaine?
Yeah, I know a forest. They always look the same.
Oh, that's not true.
Well,
Each has their different kind of trees, and I'll pull out a notebook and start listing off some trees.
Whilst you're doing that, that wakes me up.
I think that most put most other people to sleep.
I grew up in the forest, so I'm used to it.
Yes,
Zark
but
did
I
too.
usually used to use this little activity.
Yeah,
I'm a bit worried about that. I'm used to a little more life.
some days, some nights are quiet, but some nights they're not.
Is there anything going on, wildlife-wise?
Wildlife.
Like, is there many? I don't know, many birds singing in the trees. Like,
There are a few.
kind of deathly quiet.
Yeah, well, no, it's not definitely quiet, but no, the other guys are spot on. There's less wildlife here than I think there would be, really, considering how sort of built up it is around here.
They could have been scared away. Surely an army moving through would scare some off.
I'm actually
Armies
thinking
need meat.
we might be closer to our goal, to our destination than we thought we were.
Armies need eat meat.
Let's
Maybe
get
guys
going.
before kill.
Before we really start, I'd like to recharge the wand.
Does it recharge? Is it every day at dawn?
Every day at dawn, yes.
So yeah, is it like 1d6 plus something charges?
1d6 plus 4.
It's only missing one charge anyway.
Yeah, you're used for, so it's just completely
So,
recharged.
yeah.
Is there a stream nearby?
Yeah, I'd say there is.
We're in one right now.
Ah.
Can I tell if
Right.
there is drinking, suitable to drink that water?
If it's suitable to drink, roll survival.
Can I look around the camp for tracks towards the camp?
You can.
23.
23. Boil it first.
That's a net 20, actually.
It isn't at 20. That's why I'm just saying to
Yeah.
ensure that the water is boiled. It is a little bit dirty.
Wait, I'll be getting my little bells and my twine.
I'd like to
Yeah.
collect some water and
The water isn't quite as pure as it is around Greenest. But yeah, I would say that sort of with a nat 20, I'd say that you'd find sort of like a big enough collection of water that if you needed to refill all of your water skins, you could probably do so.
yeah, I'd like to
It's quite substantial
yeah,
sort of stretch of water.
I shall refill my water skin.
Okay, and
then boil it if need be.
okay, and Blaine, what was your question?
Can I look around the camp, looking for tracks towards the camp?
Tracks
Maybe I
towards the
can
camp.
find some.
Yeah. Once again, roll survival for me, please. 20. Okay. I would say that sort of you see some tracks around the camp, but you can tell that these were made the other day. These weren't made recently, but you can see that there has been other people passing through this part of the forest. Quite sort of, you can probably tell by the size of the tracks that they are humanoids. That some of the tracks are pressing quite heavily, so you can tell that these guys were probably wearing sort of quite a lot of equipment. You can also see sort of a couple of tracks off to the sides, which would suggest that they may have had wolves, dogs. You're not completely sure, but you could probably get from this that, yeah, there's been people around here. I would say that those tracks are about maybe 2 or 3 days old. The only other tracks that you see coming towards the camp, you can see the ferret's tracks, which are kind of around the whole camp near Arthur's tripwires. Other than that, you just see the tracks of sort of other small animals, like rabbits and maybe a couple of squirrels.
Alright.
But coming towards the camp directly, no, not since last night.
Alright.
Just whistling away while I gather my water and purify it and fill it into my water skin.
Okay. You guys doing anything else?
Getting ready to march on.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did you say, sorry, Arthur?
Pretty much what they said.
Pretty much what they said. Okay.
Give the horses a little bit of feed before we start. They come to the streams to get watered.
Yeah. Okay. So when you guys are ready to head out, you can continue to do so.
Right, how far are we going to go before we get off the horses? Maps say we should probably have about 6 hours before we arrive where this point is.
Let's
Get
go
off the
for
horses.
another 2-3 hours to see where we are. Keep our eyes peeled, look for lookouts from them.
I'll be
If it's
staying in
safe,
the car.
maybe another hour.
Yeah, then. Let's give it a go.
How are you gonna stay in the cart when we have to leave the horses behind to be more insuspicious?
And I can track.
Until we get there. My legs are shorter. I exert more energy keeping
Until
up.
we get there, as long
With
as we can
that,
use the cart,
I will point
use
to
it.
Robert. You can ride him. Robert will look at you.
My eyes widen a little bit. That is an interesting proposition. I'm trying not to wiggle with excitement.
Okay, so we start making a move then. About 3 hours travel.
Okay. As you, after a couple of hours, one of you roll a perception check for me.
Grandpa's to it.
Okay, I would say.
Isn't it more than one looking though, so it's advantage?
Yeah, go on. I suppose.
Ooh. Luckily it's advantage, yeah.
Fortunately, I'm not going to sort of go that one of you falls off or some nonsense like that. No, I'd say a 13 is still enough. So, as you're passing through, you're passing through an area that's a little bit more, I suppose, marshy would be the way I would describe it, and you're kind of going up a slight incline. As you sort of start to go up an incline, you see sort of you see a few people just a little bit ahead of you. They appear to be wearing what I suppose you would describe as hunting gear. Have like a casa hats on. Do you go past them?
Well, Gwen's the one that's seen this, so.
So yeah, that's I'm asking Gwen.
I'm alerting the others, dude. Not making the decision for our action, but just letting the others know. Letting them make the decision.
Are they in the middle of the road, to the side of the road?
They're to
Is
the
there
side of the
anything
road.
beside them?
They're to the side of the road, and
Do they look dirty or clean?
they look like they've seen a few days' work. Put it that way.
Should we slow down when we get to them, or should we just keep going?
Honestly, I'd probably keep going. Let's see if
Yeah.
they're healers, but else.
Keep going.
Okay, so do you guys pass them by?
Yeah, passing by. I
Yep.
give a nod as we go past.
Uh,
My head.
yeah, okay. So as you go past, sort of like there's three of them, they look towards you. They don't really seem to pay much attention, but you can see that they are skinning a couple of animals. And
What kind of animal?
in this case, it is actually yeah, I'm gonna say it's a rabbit at the skinning at the moment.
Okay then.
Yeah, small game. There's a couple of wolves with them. Okay,
Alright.
so you guys continue on.
Indeed.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys ride up until the point where the map says the camp is located. So as you get to the end of the map, the forest, like you kind of back to like a foresty type area, but you kind of go out of that. And again, you're in an area that's quite open and wide. You could probably assume that this location was chosen just because of the number of raiders that were in Greenest, and especially with the likes of the ambush drakes and such, that they probably needed a rather big space to accommodate everything. Unfortunately, as you get... Sorry, go on.
No, before we get within like an hour or so,
Mhm.
estimate an hour's travel, I would like to suggest that maybe we put the ropes on again.
We what, sorry?
The ropes. We have some cultist ropes.
Ooh,
Might
right,
it
you're
be a
right.
good idea to put them on?
Good point. With that, I'll don the robes over my armor again.
Are we approaching in the cart? I can make myself hidden in here.
Might be an idea.
Excellent.
I'm afraid these ropes are not exactly your size.
No, it's fine. I'll cast minor illusion to make it look like I'm a barrel in the back of the cart.
Fair enough. Okay.
Does Blaine have robes? I can't remember.
I
Yes.
think I have, yes.
Yes,
I think
put
he
them
does.
You've got quite the collection of robes.
Do we have any for Zark?
For Zark, no
No.
cultists that you've come
Oh,
across
wait.
are kind of...
In that
Being
case,
big enough.
I would like to go to Zark. Give me parts of that magic rope you have.
And I'll hold up the rope.
I'm gonna gently tie your hands together in front of you and give you a knife in between them, so you can simply cut your way out.
Okay.
You're a prisoner if anyone asks.
What'd Sock do?
Remember that really
We're
bad
playing.
fart last night? That was a crime against nature.
Fart jokes.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
Sock diet. That's Sock's fault.
Zach,
With
we're
that-
just playing pretend. Play pretend. Alright?
I'm still looking upset at being tied up. Mhm.
You're not tired. You can get out of this. Easy peasy.
Okay, and with that, we'll start riding in.
Okay, so you guys continue to ride forward. So,
Yes.
okay, so as you guys get to where this place is marked on the map, something doesn't seem quite to line up quite right. So you get there and you kind of come out of this foresty type area, and it's quite a large expanse. In front of you, you can see a really large plateau, probably going up about 150 feet. Off to sort of like on the lower level, you can see a couple of openings in like the wall, which you would assume are caves, and then like a pass sort of like through the center of this plateau. But the area itself is rather large and open, which I suppose given the amount of raiders that were at Greenest thingy. But when you get there, you see several tents, some boxes, some crockery that's been left behind. But other than that, no signs of life.
Looks abandoned.
What do you guys do?
We
Can I
keep
use
on
my
riding.
magic awareness to see if there's any magic at play?
Any magic at play?
Yeah, I can. I'll spend 10 minutes casting detect magic
Okay.
as a ritual.
Whilst they're doing that, I would like to refer back to the notes just to make sure I didn't miss any detail.
Okay, so
I noticeably want to be so obvious that I'm looking this over whilst I'm driving the car.
yeah, you'd be kind of just like maybe taking a couple of glances at it just to make sure that what you're seeing is right. Okay, so Zark and Delman, nothing seems to be. There's no illusions here. Nothing. Like there's no one's trying to conceal themselves. It's as it appears. It's an abandoned camp. It's a rather large abandoned camp, but just an abandoned camp.
Maybe they moved to the caves.
Arthur, you referring back to your map, it seems like you recall the conversation that you had with Nessim earlier, and he mentioned something about the camp being in a basin. Now, the map that you're looking at here, there appears to be a basin a little bit further ahead of this location, but the camp is marked more or less on this spot.
I'll pass that on to everyone. We should probably check the camp first before we move ahead, just to make sure there's a bit of struggle here.
I'll turn to Blaine. You have a good eye for this kind of thing, don't you?
Yes, yes. I shall try to track some tracks.
Okay. Oh, survival blame. Oh no.
I guess not.
Nope.
It looks like that they had, I don't know, some ambush drakes fighting each other at some point, because it just seems like there's tracks all over the place towards, like on the outskirts of the camp. You can't really see anything.
Even on his eyeballs?
No, you can't even see his eyeballs. It's that bad. It's uncanny. Real.
I can't make anything out of this. I'm sorry.
Can I look at the case?
Can you look
Look
at
at
the
there.
what, sorry?
At the cave entrances?
Okay, so the cave entrances.
Any of those look to be like someone might be in there, or might have been in there?
The cave entrances, I would say, even at a glance, you could tell that they're tall enough that any of the creatures that you've seen at Greenest could feasibly get through there. Whether they're hiding in the caves, you're not really sure from just looking at the entrance. You'd probably have to go into the caves to get a better idea of what's happening there.
Whilst we're passing through the camp, can I roll perception to see if I can see like if there's any kind of like barrels or crates of edible things?
Yep. Roll investigation, please.
Take.
Okay, you guys are rolling really low tonight.
Yeah, we are.
So, on +3s as well. Okay, so Avi, you go through the camp. I would say that the food looks to be mostly ruined. You can see like a thick coat of mold and some bread. Just some raw meat. It looks like it might have been fed to a wild animal, but nothing suitable for, I say human consumption, but for you consumption.
Humanoid.
Humanoid consumption, yeah, there we go, that fixes that. But yeah, unfortunately nothing of value for you to eat. Okay,
Alright.
and how about anyone else?
I'm just stared at my bound lists.
Then we should keep going through to the basin.
Okay.
Seems like this might just simply be rubbish that's been left here.
Okay.
Maybe specifically to throw people off. You know, we're gonna respond. No.
Following your lead.
Sorry, I'm reading up on a spell.
Not that I have a choice because you've got me tied up.
And with that, then I suppose I'll lead it towards where the basin would be.
Okay, so as I said, there's like a narrow pass that you can step through to go to the basin. As you approach that though, one of you roll perception for me.
I'll do it this time. Yeah.
Is this thing also looking?
Let's see if it's double digits at least.
Unfortunately, no, that isn't quite enough. You don't really see anything of elf. So you're going to head through to, like, the basin then?
Yeah.
So I'm going
Yep.
to just say that it's... You could probably walk, I think, 2 abreast. Yes, it is quite narrow. So do you...
In that case, probably take the horses off the carriage and then probably... How would you get them to stay without tying them down?
I don't think you can.
Hmm.
I think they will wander. I don't know. Never had a horse.
In that case, I'd just loosely tie the bridles to the carts so that they could feasibly pull away.
Actually, I will say it's 3 abreast rather than 2 abreast, sorry. So, yeah, you might be able to get them through there at a push.
I'll leave the cart then, just bring the horses behind. Bed leads.
Okay.
I'll take the front.
I'm guessing I'm behind you then.
I'm gonna walk.
Also use a bit more rope to connect
Taking
it to
back.
yours. So it looks like I'm pulling you along.
Potentially the second horse, but walking towards the back of the group.
I'm gonna be in the middle, directly behind Zark, trying to keep myself hidden behind him. I'm small.
Right. Okay, so you guys walk into this basin then?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you guys walk into the basin, you walk for probably, I'd say about 2 minutes or so. After 2 minutes, one of you guys make a perception check again. Wouldn't mind.
I've tried mine, was someone else going to
Yeah, someone else. So I've got
I'm
this.
gonna try.
I keep giving you chance, God's sake.
No,
This isn't a nat one.
It isn't a nat 1, but you guys are really not doing too well tonight. God.
nope.
Actually, before we walk in,
Three dice.
I'm gonna. Big one! I have an idea. Can I climb up on Zark's back?
Yeah,
So I'm like,
I'd say so.
hands on his neck kind of thing. And can I cast minor illusion to make it look like I'm a really big backpack?
So you like Yoda,
More
but
like one of those
Yeah.
fruit gathering baskets or something like
Yeah.
that. Because why would he carry a really large backpack?
Yeah.
He's a prisoner.
I like that one.
Like maybe he's a prisoner and he's also the pack mule.
Prisoner mule.
Technically, I don't think it's meant to work like that, but fuck it, it's funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to allow.
I don't know if
just-
it can actually move with you.
rule of
Um,
shannon.
Rule of shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm going to say that shenanigans wins out in this situation just because I want something. You guys have something tonight.
Yay.
God, if I was actually,
Gentleman backpack.
if I was being nasty tonight, this would probably be one of the worst sessions of your life. Okay, so as I was saying, you guys walk for about 2 minutes, and then you see 3 figures approaching you from your front, and it appears to be 3 orcs.
I'll raise my left hand, the one that's got the reins in it, in greeting.
Okay, the orcs approach you, and one of them is stepped forward in front of the others. There appears. Hmm?
Zach.
Mhm.
Got your bindings.
Whispering.
Okay. So, the 3 orcs
Yeah,
approach
I'll
you.
do that.
One of them appears to be a little bit different from the other 2, kind of like grey skinned to the others, green skinned. And you hear the orc speak, and
What do they say?
And they say, sorry, keep hiccuping. They say, "Well met, travellers."
Greetings.
Wasn't the voice I was expecting.
How
Yeah,
are you on this day?
I'll respond in Orcish. Hello.
this orc raises their eyebrow at you as you say that, turns back to Arthur, and they say, "Was doing quite well until you showed up. Actually, they might not actually be so bad. You may not be aware of this since you're not around here, but there's a toll.
Toll.
40,
How much?
40 gold per head."
Zark no pay toll.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. The orc raises her hand, and you can see that to the sides of you, there are a couple of kobolds stood there, sort of one on each side. You also notice at this moment that there are another 2 orcs behind you.
Stand down.
The orc continues to speak. As you can see, the odds aren't really with you. So I would recommend that you pay, and then we can be all on our way.
Zark recommend you move aside, or Zark kill you.
The orc,
I'll say putting a hand on my great axe.
the orc, just crosses their arms and just says, "Go ahead. I invite you to try."
Tell you what. How about a duel? One of us against one of you to decide if we pay the toll.
Or persuasion.
I don't have anything on it, but go on. Go. Fuck's sake!
Oh!
wow.
Oh! Doom, I'm actually really sorry.
Yeah, that was
No, you're not.
that was quite good.
I mean, no, honestly.
Are you?
that was
If you're
quite-
sorry, you're not DMing right.
I know. God damn. So, the orc goes, "No. This is your last chance. Pay or die."
What's everyone else? We'll pay.
I've still got my hand on my great axe.
Put your hand down. We'll pay.
Happy to hear it.
With that, I'll fish out the gold and hand it to him. Worth a try, not paying, wasn't it?
The orc just chuckles to themselves, and yeah, they accept the gold, and the other guys stand down, and they clear you a way to pass.
I'm still not looking pleased at this.
Okay, so my apologies, Alf. I was just trying to get us to. We're pretty much at the end of the session now.
No, it's fine. I didn't want to interrupt.
It's fine. Okay, so as you continue through the pass, like nothing else goes, have you all subtracted 40 gold from your sheet just to check before I continue?
How much was it?
Done it, sadly.
40.
No, I haven't.
I'm not
Taking my
paying.
cold dead fingers.
Arthur if Arthur
we
wants to
don't-
pay for it,
I don't
Arthur
think
can
they
pay for
could
it.
see.
Element
Elf.
don't need to.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that they didn't see Dalaman. Just because you've had really bad rolls tonight.
If Arthur wants us to pay,
We all have.
then he can pay. Sarky's very adamant he doesn't want to pay his gold.
Okay. So have you paid only your share, Arthur?
Pay his share as well and talk about it later.
And
I did pay my share.
Paid.
yeah, and I will say that they didn't see Dalaman. And did you pay, Gwen?
Sark, no
I
strong
pay.
dogs. These no
Okay.
strong dogs.
Okay, so you guys pass these guys without any issue. So as you walk through the pass, you now see the location that Nessim described to you. So it's very much a basin. The wall that you saw outside is now surrounding the whole of the camp, and yeah, this is pretty much what you would have expected to have seen in the first place. Sort of a rather large settlement, quite a lot of activity. You can't really tell precisely what's going on from here, but yeah, just because I don't want to go on any longer for our sake, I'd say that this is where we end the session.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, hopefully everyone enjoyed that. And actually,
I wanted to fight the orcs.
what do we want to do about the one shot? Do you guys still want to play that, or
I don't have anything for that.
You can spend a bit of time making your character and whatnot now. Might as well watch it here.
Okay.
Well, I need to break now or soon anyway for a little bit.
so you need to
And
break
then
anyway?
start to-
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that case, I was going to ask
need
if
to
you
take him
want.
out, feed him. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's
go
absolutely
20
fine.
minutes, half an hour.
Okay, so I'll tell you
Can be
what.
back after.
Sky, if you want to stay on call with me and Doom, we can help you make a character if you want.
Yeah, sure.
If
Yeah,
that's alright
just-
with you, Doom.
Yes, it is indeed.
And, I suppose everyone can say. But anyway, that's the end of the Dragon Queen stream. So, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we shall speak to you all next time.
Hopefully in a few hours.
Bye bye.
Yeah, hopefully I'll probably actually do another stream for the one shot when we're actually ready. But yeah, it's bye for now. Speak to you in a bit.
Bye bye.